Little
Alright.
connectors for the blast cities.
Oh, yeah. Alright, I think we're live. Let me just make sure that everything's up and rolling, and then I'll just start playing and as people join.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I believe we are good to go.
Wonderful. Yeah, we are in there.
Alright.
Look at this pinout thing. All right. Get this part here.
It's looking pretty decent on stream, too.
Yeah, very smooth. Do you have it on any filters or just on regular unfiltered?
Unfiltered at the moment.
Yeah. The bilinear is all right. The unfiltered one I think is the best when I tested it out.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We will go through how we're capturing. I just figured let's just jump right in and show an example and wait for some people to jump in here. But yeah, I
Yep.
am joined by my friend Ben from iFixRetro,
Hey,
who did
Bobby.
this mod.
How's it going?
Oh man, I was looking at the screen instead of looking at the 3DS, and I messed up.
It looks pretty good, man.
It looks really good.
Yes. Like, people have been playing this on the PC, and it's crazy how this thing just runs on micro USB. They have their own little proprietary program, I
Ah,
suppose,
that's
on
what I
it.
get for looking around at the chat. Sorry, everybody.
It's very dangerous to what is it, to drive and talk at the same time, you know.
Luckily, that Mario Kart rubber banding's got us covered.
Yeah. So, let's see if I could extract this guy. There you go. Looks really good. There's a bunch of settings you could do with it.
Oh yeah,
like
we will be messing with all of those in a moment.
yeah. Let's see on it. It's pretty smooth. Like I feel like there's I mean there are latency to it, but like there isn't much to it
Well, we're gonna
as you
measure
play.
lag before this stream is over. You can bet your ass that we're gonna. Can't be a
Oh yeah,
RetroRGB stream without some kind of lag test involved.
yeah, for science, man,
Hell
for
yeah!
sure.
All right, let's see. Good old Mario Kart rubber banding. Can I come back in the last lap?
Can you do it? There you go. Oh, catching up, catching up. Oh
Oh.
wow. Let me see. So one of those bound to hit them.
I just figured I'd keep
Let me
firing.
see. Oh, nice.
Came in
That's better
second.
than. Yeah, not bad.
All right,
Not bad.
everybody. Here's what we got. We have a brand new mod that brand new within the past couple of months that has just come out that allows you to connect a USB port. Let me see if I can get up here. Where's my OBS window? There we go. USB port to I'm not. There we go. To the
It's a
back.
direct capture.
Yeah, and it is a USB capture for 3DS. Now, Ben, it's only compatible with new 3DS XL, correct?
Yeah, at the moment there are a couple of other models, but I haven't started them yet
Mm-hmm.
on them. But right now I'm currently doing them for the new 3DS XL
Yeah.
system.
Hey, what's up, Beast? So yeah,
Hey,
it's kind of like the
yeah.
Katsukity card, but it is for new 3DS XLs, and it seems to work the same way otherwise, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So,
Correct.
it also has. I guess let me just. I could switch over for a moment to show people settings. So let
Sure.
me.
Go right ahead.
My. Yeah. Wait, I can't do that. I'm gonna lose Ben if I do that. There we go. Let me move things over. I only have one monitor, which makes it kind of hard to do these things, but we'll do this best
Wait.
as we can here.
Sure thing.
Um, add display capture. All right. Get rid of the setting. that always seems to
Okay.
uncheck itself. Here we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So here are the main settings. Let me get this nice and centered. So
Mhm.
centered-ish. There we go. Good enough. So I'll
Yeah.
show the settings that we have here, but
Okay.
change the product key and device ID. I don't know why you would want to do that. Do you know why you'd want to do that?
They at one point they had I guess the program was kind of restricted. So like if you bought a card, they only wanted to like restrict it to like one card or something. But at this point, you could just delete the configuration file just to bypass it. I
Okay.
guess it was like the program was only limited to like 30 devices at a time. But even then, I think that if you delete it, you'll be fine from there and whatnot. So kind of weird, but yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Okay.
hmm Oh yeah, that is the settings for your sync. You don't really need to touch that. That's normally by default and stuff.
Yeah, it looks
A
fine
lot of
without
the
messing with any of it. I just kind of figured we would figure out what these settings are and see if any of them are worth messing with before we get back into the games. Okay,
Mm,
separate the lower screen. That's cool. That's pretty
yes.
cool.
So like if you have like two different screens, you could actually separate them and whatnot. Or if you have like a what is it, one of those monitors that does like Tate mode, you could actually make it look like a real 3DS and whatnot.
Oh, I think that other mode's for the regular DS.
hmm
We'll play that later though. Sound settings are great because this is how we're able to adjust the volume because I'm running it all through the same audio device. So this is actually how I'll
Correct.
be jumping in and raising and lowering the game volume as we go in the stream. So that's actually really handy.
Yes. And the wonderful
Trans.
part is with that speaker settings, you could keep your the speakers on the handheld device on off, while this one just outputs it from there.
That's pretty cool that you could still do some kind of 3D mode with this.
hmm Yes, yes, it has that feature too.
Filtering.
That's
I
your
like no
filters.
filter, but
Yeah.
I could see how with 3D graphics you might want to do some of the other ones.
Mhm.
But I like it nice and sharp. Size
Certain
adjust,
games.
we're at a 2x scale. Now we have two different versions of this software. This version 113 works
Mhm.
perfect. Version 205 we started using right before the stream, and size adjust goes up to 4x, and you could do free scale, which is great out here, but sound wouldn't work. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Uh,
was recent though.
yeah,
That
that's I'm interested to see if they're able to fix all that because I do really like that. And of course, full screen versus yeah, that works perfect as well. Um, so yeah, that's all right. This is pretty cool. Is it still necessary to pull audio from the headphone jack for capture? No, beast. It's right in here, and that's what you heard before.
all
Dr.
direct.
Lilo, if the lag is low enough, you could literally play it on a VR headset. That would be neat. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll test lag later because I think it was marketed as a streaming solution, which is what we're going to do first. And then the last thing we'll do is lag test because the tech stuff can sometimes be boring if you're not a nerd like us. So, I'll save that for last. Display.
Yeah.
So that's great, both the upper and lower display or only the upper. So that's pretty neat too. So if you want to hold on to your DS and then just set it to that, you could use your main monitor for the top screen.
Right.
Will this still run if you took the top screen off? I know there's things that you have to do in jailbreaking so that it doesn't do the checks for everything, but have you tried that yet?
It could definitely work. Correct. It
And
can.
for the record, I'm not implying that people should start destroying 3DSs. I'm just saying, if you have one with a dead screen and you want to consoleize it, this might be a cool thing.
Mhm. As
All
long
right.
as the main motherboard works, you'll be fine. Otherwise, if the motherboard goes out, then you're sort of, I guess, kind of fucked at that point.
Yeah. Hey, super chat from the importer. Thank you so much. Super chats that will keep these things going. So, does this require a hard mod on the 3DS? Yes, and I'm going to
Yes.
have Ben explain that once I start getting back into the games. How's the input lag? We will figure that out later. And can you use a PC controller? Oh, by the way, we'll figure out within a millisecond or two later on. We'll have a very good measurement. And lastly, can you use a PC controller? Ben, can you add a PC controller to 3DSs?
Yes, it has to be done through Luma 3DS. If you jailbreak it, you could definitely do it though. You could use a an Xbox controller. It runs through like Zenput, I believe, through
Okay.
through Luma. But it has to be jailbroken in order to do it though. This could be done with the PC as well. Well, it has to be on the PC specifically, but you could broadcast it to the TV if you wanted to, if you use like a splitter on it.
Just get rid of that. Okay. Well, I think it looks freaking cool. So let's jump back into the games. I know there were a few. I asked on Twitter a while back, and I got some suggestions for games. So Pushmo is one that everybody suggested I try out. So let's get that done. And once that's loaded, I'm gonna have some questions for you, Ben. I gotta find Pushmo though. I don't even know what it looks like.
You see at the same time trying to get these extract these little cables out for the Astro City. I mean Blast City. Just trying to make a kick harness at the moment. A
There
lot
it
of the
is.
games are pretty good.
Top right. Thanks, Fuzzy Assassin. Appreciate it. So this is not HDMI. This is USB going to a PC. So if you wanted to, you could make it full screen and use your PC as that, but this is not an HDMI out mod. And I'm still not quite sure why they would do it this way over HDMI, but it is what it is, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever played this game?
What is this called?
Pushmo? Like a puzzle?
No, I've never. It looks pretty cute. I like the graphics on it. Right now, it's only currently running through a proprietary program. I guess with the settings and configurations, maybe they haven't set up an OSD or something like that in the kit itself. So for now, I guess they're just doing it through the computer.
KP Senti's confused how you split the USB for TV. We just kind of demoed that, so you must have just jumped in. So, you know, when the stream's over, this thing will be live, but you could use the software app to split it up any way that you would like.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's kind of neat that I'm getting to play this in 3D, and
Yeah.
and it's still 2D in the stream, so I could still, you know, whoever's streaming can still enjoy the 3D effect, which is pretty decent in this game.
Mm.
I do miss games
That's
that jump
actually
directly in.
You know, it kind of reminds me of Animal Crossing and Katamari at the same time. I don't know, just looks pretty cute. Oops.
Okay.
So what is this the game, the objective of the game?
I don't know, and I'm starting to get bored already. I like games where I could just start playing. All right, can you please pull out that block and save him? I can't get it to budge. Okay.
No, I didn't design this hardware. This was I just only provide the installs for it.
Okay, I get it.
There
So
is-
it's like 3D Tetris almost.
Let's see.
So, all right. Installing this thing looked like one of the most giant pains in the butt you could ever imagine. Would you mind explaining
Definitely.
exactly what it went through? And of course, you have pictures on your social media that shows this actual installation, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely break it down, break everything down with the whole installation process. It's definitely a huge pain in the butt. There's a bunch of things that you do. They usually send me these little kits with parts here. I've, they usually send you this nice little kit over here that comes with this little ribbon. It's two sets of ribbon, one for the video and then one for the audio. And it's a little flex ribbon that you have to cut, and they're so small, and it's very easy to like make a mistake on it and mess up the traces from there. And they're really fragile as well at that point. Yeah, like once this is one of the parts in it. And the other thing is just cutting the housing to accommodate the port and the board onto it, since the 3DS system barely has any space to fit the kit in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, it's you have to like cut it out perfectly so it fits in there. Not only that, there's you have to tap the signals onto the video side of things on the motherboard. Like that's another tricky thing. They use like what is these? What is it? 0201 resistors and capacitors on them. And if you can't like heat them up too much, and if you do, you'll burn up the metal sides, one ends of it, and you're gonna have to like redo the whole thing again or just replace it. Like everything is literally microscopic on it. And not only that, like the disassembly process, it's very easy to mess up a 3DS. Like just opening up the case and then reassembling it. The ribbons are extremely fragile. There's about like almost 10, 11 ribbons you have to like remove on it.
So you basically have to disassemble the entire thing, and then you have to desolder a ton of the tiniest little capacitors and resistors you could imagine, and then solder that ribbon cable to it, that very thin, fragile ribbon cable.
Cutting it from that point on. And that's the hardest part. Like at sometimes when I solder it, I have to test out for a continuity as well to see if it makes contact with any of the signals. And not only that, like after soldering it, you have to solder it to the main board itself. This little tiny kit. Let me see if I can do focus on it. There you go. So it's a really small kit on it though. And let me see if I can find a picture on it on Twitter. I'll send you guys a link on it. Let's see. 30 There you go. I found it. Like, there's a bunch of things. There's a huge risk on it. Not only that, there's like you'll have to take out once you disassemble it, you take out the motherboard, and then you got to cut the shielding on it. And when you're cutting the shielding, all these components around it, and there's this tracer sitting under it, and if you cut it and cut it too deep, you could easily scratch up the traces, and from there it'll mess it up as well. So.
Yeah. I mean, so far, right? Like I'm kind of looking between my OBS window. I'm looking looking at the game, and I'm listening to you talk about this at the same time. And this really, it seems so far like a great streaming solution. We'll figure out lag later, but this is pretty neat. So, what exactly are these compatible with? Is it only the new 3DS XL, or are there other ones in there?
There are other ones though. I might as well do it at this point. There's 3DS regular 3DS XL. What is it? Regular 3DS XL. The regular 3DS, and then new 3DS XL, and that's it.
Okay.
So just only 3 at the moment they have. New 3D, but I only specifically do the new 3DS XL because I'm comfortable working on them. The other ones I haven't tested yet, but the other ones aren't too hard, I guess. They said it's not too hard, but I guess the new 3DS XL is the hardest one of them all because there's a lot of removal, cutting and whatnot on it. The other ones, they have the flex ribbon provided for you, and it's already pre-cut and whatnot. Whereas the other ones, you don't. So
So how long from
they
start to finish is one of these installations?
about 5 6 hours. 5 6 hours.
Craziness.
Like even if, yeah, even if I get the install, like if it's soldered, if it looks like it's soldered properly. If I take it apart, put it back together, and then there's something wrong with it, I have to take it apart again and then redo it. It takes about a few tries in order to get it done properly. So
Jeez. So that it certainly
yeah,
explains why they're going for almost $1,000. So that
yeah,
makes a lot of sense. So CV
yeah.
Senti in the chat, oh my god, I want one who does installs. Well, Ben does, but that's a lot of money. And you get what you
Yeah.
pay for, right? If I was a professional
Mhm.
game streamer, then this is like a no-brainer for me. Like this is a tool
Right.
that I would use on a regular basis. But
Hmm.
it's not something that just a casual, like this isn't your TV out solution for some. Well, if you have the money and your 3DS is your favorite console, sure, but if you're just looking for a basic TV out solution, this is not what you've been waiting for.
Right. And yeah, I mean, if you need it as a tool, this is absolutely necessary. Though I don't think they've done anything yet for consoleizing it. That'd be nice though. I'm waiting for one too. So, but we all are
Yeah.
at the moment.
It's micro USB, not USB-C,
Correct.
which I do understand why they would do that though, because there's some other things involved with moving to a USB-C connector that could complicate stuff for a weird mod like this. So it does actually make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're talking about power, I agree that USB-C is probably the best thing to go because they're a lot more common, and but when you have data as well, that's when things get a little strange because then that means you might have to deal with other USB related stuff that could be good or bad for it all.
Right. Right.
All right. Well, I like this game a lot, but this is one of these games that I feel like it's more of a kid's game at first, and then once it gets super hard, it'll probably be more like a more of an adult
Easy to
game.
learn.
But I don't want to sit here and waste everybody's time for over an hour with this, so I'll go to the next one. I also want to show some weird stuff in here too, just because it's me and I have to. But let's move on to Sushi Striker, which I heard was awesome as well.
Okay.
You ever play that one?
All these. Nope. I play a lot of RPG games on the 3DS itself. Like there's I spent a lot of my time back when I had a 3D. Well, I still have one. I usually like be sitting on the trains and play for hours and hours on it on all the RPG games.
Yeah, and just Reluctant Hero in the chat corrected me. Thank you. I wanted to make sure I was clear about this. That about $1,000 or under, yes, is for everything. It's for the 3DS with the
Yeah.
install done. I actually purchased this one right before a bunch of very large bills came in, so I will be selling this one too soon, along with an R4 cards. And this, I took the time to do the best version of the soft mod to this, so I'm able to, if anybody's interested, let me know. But this is, if somebody had a beat up new 3DS and just handed it to you as is, it's going to be a lot cheaper than a really nice condition one like this that has, all the nice soft mods and all the other stuff done to it. So I think the cheapest I've seen him sell for is like 700 for a beat up one, and then almost $1,000. I think it was like 950 for something like this.
Yes, correct. Correct.
Crest of Honor
Depending on
23
which
also likes playing RPGs. Ben, what's your favorite RPG to play on this then?
Persona. Persona is pretty good on it. What else? Any of the Shin Megami Tensei series is really good on it. What else? There's Atrium. Eltrium Odyssey. I forgot what the name is. It's been so long. Atrium Odyssey. That's it. Atrium Odyssey is pretty good on it.
The
I've seen
importer,
people play.
the importer says
Yeah.
they see a Whatnot stream coming up. No, I don't think I'm ever going on there again. I got screwed pretty hard. It was really disappointing because I bent over backwards to try and help, and I got shafted. So I don't think I'm ever going to be on that platform again. Plus, the other thing too, and this is no disrespect. This is just, it is what it is. But you go on YouTube, you go on Twitch. Sometimes you're going to find streamers that are awesome. Sometimes you're going to find them that are totally fine, and others you're going to find massive pieces of shit, because that's how life and humans work. And I just happened to get unlucky, and I landed in the chat of a lot of terrible streams.
Doodle.
Yeah.
A lot of doodle. Yep.
Chris Frats, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. What's the RE3 thing on your home menu? I have no idea. It was one of the games people suggested I download, so I'm gonna try it out and see. And I'll do that afterwards. But thank you very much.
How is it feeling right now, Bob?
It is pretty cool. Game? This is a touch game, so I'm gonna use the stylus. That one martini, we're going to be doing lag last. Right as the stream's over, I'm going to take out my slow motion camera and do my usual. And it'll also be a good idea of showing you how long it takes to do those boring ass things. But you know.
Yeah, this whole thing is definitely a process to install. There is this other capture solution, but it's done through Wi-Fi. It has, I believe, lag on it. I forgot what the capture solution was called. Yeah. There was another one.
Oh shit! It's Rourke. What's up, dude?
Oh hey, it's been a minute. How you been? How you guys doing?
NTR stream. Yeah. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I believe that's the one though. But it's not as accurate as this one, where you get like an all direct capture solution to it. And as you're playing, it's it's pretty on point. But you know, again, Bob says like he wants to test out for lag. It works on a bunch of stuff. It works on the Mac. It works on Linux. It works through Windows on it. You could they use a proprietary program for it. And if you wanted to play on the TV, you definitely can, but you'll need to like split the display off of the PC.
Hello Goodbye wants to know if there's any way to capture the 3D bit. Yes, we showed that earlier on when I was going through the settings. So this live stream will be I'm trying to get these live streams set up so it's easy to reference. So I got timestamps. We opened up just playing some games to show it working. Then we kind of went over the menu stuff. Then I had Ben explain how the installation was. So I'm trying to keep it so that people could still reference this back and not have to watch a whole 2-hour video. Yeah. Also, it's not compatible with 2DS DS games. This is.
Yes, it definitely is. It's definitely backwards compatible with it though. I mean, it's only affecting the video, but not the system itself. If your system could play 2DS game, I mean regular DS games, you'll be fine on it.
So I'm gonna do that next, just to show, because that game seemed neat. But that was, and I mean this with all the love in the world, that seemed like one of these mindless games where you're like, I've had a bad day, I don't want to think anymore. Let me swipe a bunch of colors and sushi on the screen. Like that seemed cool as hell, but not maybe not the best for live streams. So I just have an R4 card right here, and that's what's in there right now. And let's get the
oh, Ketsui, hell yeah.
How do GBA games? I'll show that too if I have one on here. So Ketsui is the shooter, right?
Yes.
All right, we're definitely doing that. Yeah, so GBA Ambassador should work as well. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Virtual Console should work as well. Even if you have it soft modded, like emulators also works as well. Anything that works on the 3DS should work normally as it should.
Oh wow. This is cool. Yeah, actually, so I want to show, since we're in 3DS mode, let me just see what happens when I try to do that. Okay, so no, that actually cuts it off. Never mind. I just wanted to see the difference in this with the screen capture, but that mode that we talked about before, that was expand the 256 by 192 by 2 window, must not be for this. but it still looks cool as hell.
Yeah. I wish there was a lot of documentations on it, but like the distributors that sells them, there isn't. It's so limited as far as documentation goes with it.
I mean, I think your social media is probably going to be the documentation. So hopefully, if somebody's nice enough, maybe they could transfer those pictures over to the wiki.
Yeah, yeah. Like whoever designed the program on it, this new 3DS View, I want to provide them some feedback to see, they can improve it as well as the hardware side too, just to like I guess make the installation process a lot easier. Because those flex ribbons, every time when I do them, like I pray to God, I'm like, oh God, hopefully it doesn't break. But there should be a better solution for it, where the installation should be seamless and it should be more accessible for more installers and stuff. Yes, correct. That is the optimized capture card for it.
This is a pretty cool game. The stereo effects are great too. I have it low, obviously, so it doesn't drown anything out, but I could hear them in my headphones, and it's well done.
Yeah.
Certainly a massive step over Game Boy Advance's stereo effects.
Yeah.
So I wanted to leave myself a note on what timestamp I started the 2DS games. So somebody else wanted to see the Game Boy Advance Virtual Console games, so let's check those out now. And also, as you can see, it says no signal whenever it's booting in between modes, which I think is totally fine. And I actually think that's pretty helpful, too, because that way you can tell when something's just booting or not. But let's... I saw Virtual Console over here.
They added that recently, I believe, at no signal end.
Oh, good.
Like the program was just updated, I guess a few weeks ago, but they're still doing. Good thing is they're still doing updates on it just to sort out all the kinks and stuff.
Okay, Beckman, how many pins or pads did you solder?
It's about 12, 15. 15, but mind you, we're talking about 0201 components. So like in order to get to those components onto it, you'll have to remove the shielding to expose the components. And then from there, there's like, they put this sort of potting, since the components are so small, they put this like, I guess rubber potting to it. So you have to like scratch off the contacts in order to solder it.
So I just changed this to a 3x scale. So that's pretty cool for a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. Are you running it on full screen right now?
No.
No?
I'm doing window capture, and then that's how I'm doing it through OBS.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, like, if you're on full screen, you have the ability to, like, select the options on it by right-clicking on your mouse.
That's cool.
Yeah. Just to make your life easier, I suppose.
So, the A-Gamer 554 said if you press start while in DS mode, you get a 1-to-1 scaling mode. I forgot all about that. Is it the same with these Virtual Console games? It's just been so long since I've played 3DS on a regular basis. Okay. All right, so let me relaunch this one then.
Okay.
Because it boots into full screen pretty quickly, so we don't even need to get into the game. Just the title menu should see. Because I definitely want to see how it looks on stream versus the original and stuff. Because I did notice with that shooter we were playing, it was a little blocky, and I think that's probably it. So if I just hit A and then hold down start right now, I'm holding start. Still holding start. It took a while to boot into this before, so I always panic whenever I'm on stream and something like this happens. But nope, This is exactly the same time it took before.
That's because of the Luma 3DS thing. They have like this weird startup time. I believe.
And there we go. Look, it is now centered and not stretched.
That's wonderful. That's good to know, though.
Okay, well, you know that means we have to go back and do the same thing with the DS game, just because that looked really cool. So let me, I'm gonna leave it stretched like this. I know it looks weird on stream, but you'll see what I mean in a second. So is this just a new hard mod for 3DS capture, but using a pre-existing program? I think they wrote the program along with this, right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, same thing. I'm holding start down after launching the DS game. And that does seem to be a little different. So let me get into the game itself. Oh, yeah. Thanks, OBS. Yeah, that definitely looks different. So now let's see how Katsui looks.
Whoops. Got one harness done. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That looks so much better. Okay. That makes so much sense. Wow, that's a big difference. So let me pause it. I wonder if I could even do a 3x filtering on this. Let's see, does that take up too much of the screen? You know what?
It looks pretty good.
Let's give it a try for a couple of seconds just to see. I mean, it looks better than it did before, that's for sure. I think this is one of those things where for streaming, I would want to, I would probably separate for a game like this where the bottom screen doesn't matter as much. I would separate the bottom screen to something else and then kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm. Or just disable it overall, like just hide it from there, just to the top. Like certain games don't even need the bottom screen, like it's not really necessary at that point. I don't know if the updated software will work with Katsukitty. Since I've never dealt with the Katsukitty stuff.
All right, let's get that back to centered here. So before we get back into playing games and taking questions, there is one thing that I wanted to show that I just think is the neatest thing. I just forgot. Hold on, let me demonstrate. So you go into the FBI utility, which is for jailbreaks and stuff like that, and okay, so all I'm doing now, I'm going into remote install.
Okay.
Scan QR code, and now I'm just going to my RetroNAS location. Oh, that's so cool. All right. I didn't realize I was even going to be able to get this on stream. So I'm going to 3DS, going to QR codes, and then I want to install 3D Fantasy Zone 3 because that should be a pretty quick one. Yeah, all right. So 3D Fantasy Zone 2. There we go. So then all I do is scan this image. Probably have to go back a little bit.
Yes. Ta-da. Oh, that is amazing.
So that's it. 100% wireless. I'm able to install this. That is so cool.
Yep. Don't even have to take out the SD card now. Wonderful.
So let's give this a try.
If we could actually use the 3D mode on that. That would be amazing.
Well, I'm definitely turning the 3D mode on now.
Okay.
Well, I mean, for me at least. So just
yeah.
Some of these games are really awesome with 3D, and some of them are just, you know, okay. This is the new 3DS XL for somebody who was asking.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3D effect on this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, that looks so pretty. Yo, that shit is so crispy, man.
Yeah. This is really neat. For playing, you kind of got to get that perfect sweet spot of your face to the screen to get the 3D effect just right. But when you do, it's really awesome.
Mm. It's very colorful. Wow.
Yeah, all the fantasy zones were always very colorful like this. Hard, too. Like, you'd think for something as colorful and kid-looking that they would be an easier game, but nope.
Yeah. Looks can be deceiving, man.
Yeah, I just tried turning the 3D off, and it's just so much better with it on.
I don't know. When you do the 3D thing, I never played with the 3D feature on. When you ever do it, do you ever get like that feeling where if you stare at it too long, you get that cross-eyed feeling to it?
Nope. Which is funny
No?
because first-person shooters always make me seasick. So you would think that I would be like the #1 person to get affected by this, but no. All right, so Sushi Striker, we did the Hipster Boo. I wish these mods weren't so fucking expensive. Yeah, well, you get what you pay for. You know, you go to Intech Gaming, you can get a piece of garbage that you can plug in and play your Game Boy Advance games, and you know, it's. I'm not being insulting. It is what it is, right? I mean, it's like you buy cheap earbuds for $10 at a bodega. You get what you pay for.
You guys ever seen that Lara Croft tattoo meme, like that Tomb Raider tattoo thing, where like if you spend like $10, you get the like a different picture of Angelina Jolie?
No.
No, you never seen that meme? So they have this thing where like this guy paid a little bit, like he paid what is it? Like it was just a really cheap tattoo, and it did not look like Angelina Jolie at all. And it was just you get what you pay for, basically. That's all I'm saying. The work definitely, I mean, it justifies it because it's very, very work intensive just to get this up and running.
I guess this game doesn't work. Oh, but this might have been one of those homebrew hacks, right?
I believe so.
The Resident Evil one. Okay, so I guess that one doesn't work. Stephanie Roreicht said they were interested in acquiring the necessary parts for this mod. They've been learning how to solder and have done a handful of GBA mods, so something like this would be wonderful for later. Respectfully, I think for later is probably the key, because based on the pictures that Ben has posted, this is absolutely an advanced mod. If you're already there, cool. I would rather risk accidentally being rude than have somebody throw away a ton of money on something. So
yeah.
Is there a capture solution for the new 3DS non-XL version?
Yes, new 3D, not the new 3DS. Sorry, not as of the moment, no. But the regular XL and the regular 3DS.
That's funny. Whatever game that was crashed the 3DS so hard that it turned off. It's returning back on now. Here we go. So I think how do you remove these things? Do you have to, because obviously I don't want to do that again. Do I like just hold it down or something? I forgot how to delete these on a jailbroken one.
You have to go to, you could either go to FBI or through, there you go.
All right, I'll do FBI then.
Or either through their Nintendo software side.
So which one would it be then?
Titles, I believe.
Oh, all right. Yeah, here you go.
Yes, this is the optimized kit, guys.
I'm looking for anything that says RE3. Because that's the only thing it said on the thing.
Yeah. I think that should be it. It's RE3.
I'm not seeing it. Did you see it?
Huh. Possibly not. Nope. There's Grand Theft Auto 3. That's the one. That's the one.
Which one?
Grand Theft Auto 3. You just have it right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
thank you.
No problem.
Select.
No.
No.
Oh,
So select, delete title and ticket, I'm assuming?
yes.
All right, now we just had a lesson on how to delete a game.
Yeah.
I'll put that in the show
No
notes.
worries. Yeah, for sure. Totally, Bob.
With FBI. There we go. Okay. Sonic Generations could have been a letdown. Yeah, I agree. Or it could have been good, but it was a letdown. Totally agree on that one. There was a bunch of games that were or wouldn't. How does this work under the hood? Did they figure out test pins like the mods in the older systems interrupt from the chip and interpret the LCD signal? I don't think so. I think it's more like the video is getting pulled as it's being generated, right?
Yeah, yes. It's being tapped directly from the chip itself. I forgot what it's called. Let me see. Yeah, whatever the video chip that the 3DS has.
There, I bought this game the day it came out. I like this one. It's worth playing a couple. Um, someone just asked, Shock Goblin, is there a best 3DS flash cart? No, and in fact, I really dug into this because I didn't, if possible, I didn't want to soft mod anything. I wanted to just put a cartridge in, but the compatibility is different. You can't find as many anymore, and the performance of this is so good. And on top of that, just having a RetroNAS and installing a game like I just showed, I mean, that was just too cool.
Yep.
I'm not
I
going to go
mean,
too far with this. Oh, Jedi Goku, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, this is an awesome mod. Ben hooked me up recently. Wanted to re-thank him. And my kids got to beat Luigi's Mansion 2. PC is set up to my TV. It works perfectly. And thanks to Bob for showing this off. Thank you, Jedi. That's really nice. I really appreciate that.
sure, Jedi. I saw him a couple weeks ago too. He was so excited when I got it done for him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the name of the soft mod? Oh man, I'm trying to remember the exact one that I did.
For the video?
No, just for loading ROMs and stuff.
Ah.
Oh man, I have it saved in my links. I'll put it in the show. So after this is over, I'm gonna have a post on RetroRGB that kind of sums up our thoughts and the lag testing, which is coming later. And I'm also going to have where to buy this thing and stuff like where the soft mod I used and all that stuff.
Yes.
And probably a link to this on eBay unless somebody buys this here on stream because this thing is awesome. But I had some bills come in right after this arrived that are a little bit more important, unfortunately.
Yeah, that happens.
So I don't want to spend too much time with this particular game because to everybody on stream it just looks like Sonic, but to me it looks like a pretty damn good 3D game because I'm playing it in 3D on it.
Yeah.
It is Luma. I believe it's Luma 3DS, but oh man, let me just check real quick. Do I have the thing in my? No, crap. Yeah, sorry. I'll get that later though. And I think I missed a couple. Well, let's see. Let's just check out another game. Do they have Outrun on this? I completely forgot. No, but they had Maze Walker, which is Maze Hunter, if you got it on the US Master System. And this was one of the few games on the original SMS that actually used the 3D as part of the game. Not just like... sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button. Not just like a gimmick or something. Although Missile Defense 3D is pretty damn awesome. So you might be able to get this from a 2D stream, but so each of those things is a depth down. And when you're looking in 3D, you get the sense of walking around these mazes on different levels.
It looks pretty cool.
It is. It's kind of slow paced, and everything in this game kills you if you hit it just once. So it's a little, yeah. So I'll skip this. I'll play it for one more second because if you're not playing in 3D, it's kind of like, why is Bob playing such a slow-paced game on stream? But so Ben, you've been doing mods forever, right?
Yeah, since I met you, I guess. Well, that and then
before that.
Before that, like around 2008. with controllers. I've been doing it for a long time now, actually. I love doing this stuff. I don't know, it's just fun.
And you were even hanging out in like the New York arcade scene forever, right?
Yeah, totally, totally. I was out. I love going out to the arcades since I was a kid,
Chinatown
and
Fair and all that.
yeah, Chinatown Fair. That was more towards like my high school years. I showed up now and then like from there, and then when I guess around 2007 and 8, after finishing college, I just went over there and then just played a lot, just hung out there a lot, and they had these new arcade games, but it closed down at that point. Yeah, definitely grew up playing that stuff.
It's still there, but it's totally different owner and everything, right? Not the same games, not the same crowd.
No. They usually have a lot of like raffle tickets and all that stuff, rhythm games and whatnot. They don't have as much fighting games out anymore. Nowadays, I mean, it's like with the arcade scene. I guess not there isn't much of an arcade scene out in New York City anymore. Well, I usually what we have one now called Brooklyn Games and Arcades with my friend Esteban and Cruz.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, love that
and
place.
he's there too. Like a whole bunch of other people.
Has anyone tried the AVE HDMI mod for the Wii? Is that the brand new one that works on every single version of it? Have you messed
I've
with that,
never
Ben?
tried. No, I've never tried that before. So, um, no, I have not. I'll have to check that out though. It's interesting.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know if you're getting set up for failure here, but that one Martini wants to know if you think Smash Brothers is a fighting game or a party
No,
game.
it's a party game. Party game. I
I
don't
keep
know.
going back and forth, to be honest, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that get really into the competition, and there are planned moves, but it is really fun just grabbing a controller, jumping in, and starting to play. So
Yes. I guess nowadays with like as it if it's becoming a fighting game, unless there's unless like Nintendo officially endorses it and then have people sponsor the players and stuff like that. I don't see it as a fighting game. It's a fun game for sure. It's definitely competitive, but not a fighting game in my opinion.
that's kind of neat. I've never played this game before.
Is that what is it called? Steel
Submarine
Diver or
one,
something?
Steel Diver,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I remember this was you could actually use this as an exploit originally to soft mod the 3DS.
That's pretty neat. My dad was in the submarine, so he would have loved something like this. Of course, this is obviously horrendously inaccurate, but whatever.
I'll probably get a kick out of it. It's meant to. Oh wow, it's actually
This is cool. I like
yeah.
this. And this is I had never played this before, and it took what? Less than a minute for me to just jump in and start shooting shit. This is my kind of game. Because I bet you if
Just
I
to pick
really
something up.
yeah, I bet you if I really tried, like I could get, learn the strategy, play some missions, but if you don't feel like really trying, oh, I didn't realize it's got motion controls too. That's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like this thing. I am definitely going to be back playing this game again. That is really cool. Oh, all right. So, funny you mentioned this. I have an oddly timed super chat. First of all, as always, thanks so much to Jory Beatty for the super chat. I appreciate you. But do the Game Gear next. Do it. I dare you. That's a game I'm working on, or a video I'm working on right now, which is Game Gear on TVs. Why it's harder than you'd think. Backward compatibility. And it was supposed to be out a month ago, and I just keep finding a bunch of weird little details about it. So that's why, funny enough, this just arrived today.
Oh wow.
Outrun Europa, because this is a Master System game. Not a Master System game that has a Game Gear mode. This is legit a Master System game in a Game Gear cartridge. So that was what was holding me up, is I wanted to demonstrate the difference. What's funny is I had that as a kid, and I had no idea that that's what that was. So thank you for the super chat. But yeah, it was funny timing because yes, I'm digging deep into that. Let's see what else we got. I don't remember playing Pilot Wings Resort, so why don't we try that one out?
Mm. I've never played any of those in any of the series on it though.
So Shot Goblin says they think Smash is a party game that the community turns into a fighting game, kind of like how speedrunners basically invent metagames using community rules. I like that. I like that because it's accurate, it's very respectful, and it doesn't take away from any side of any way to play that game. I like that. That's cool. Well said.
Hey, well,
Super Jerry X Steel Diver Sub Wars is a 4 versus 4 online 3DS game. People are still playing it. That's cool. I like it. So this is a native, yeah, obviously now because it's full screen. I was just going to ask, this is a native 3DS game, not a port, but yeah, this is pretty
mm-hmm.
cool.
I believe you could adjust the size if you want both the top and bottom screen to be the same size. You could definitely do it. There's an option to set that if you prefer that preference.
Yeah, I like to keep everything the way it was. I'm not really one for stretching games. Maybe if Ian was in the chat, I would stretch it just to piss him off, but
Oh yeah, that's. I don't know. It's just for I guess for size wise and stuff like that. I don't know. It's like I do respect the people that play Smash, but it's just not my thing. I suppose that's all.
Oh, Vanessa, thank you so much for the super chat. Glad you stopped by.
Hi.
Looking forward to hanging out. That's Retro World Expo's coming up. Hopefully we can all see each other then.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, Vanessa. Oh, wow, it's been a minute. Been a minute. Oh, so they use like little me characters onto it, though.
I remember the
This looks
original
like-
Pilot Wings. I was like, oh, this looks neat. Graphics are a little low
Mhm.
res, and then like even in the 90s, and then hours went by, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this is an awesome game.
Yeah.
Another spicy question from that one Martini. In our opinion, is the Game Boy Color just a mid-gen upgrade or an actual successor to the Game Boy? I mean, this answer with love doesn't matter because it's backward compatible. Even if it was just a cash grab to add color, it still adds functionality and lets you play your older games. But it's an interesting question. What do you think, Ben?
It kind of reminds me. I mean, it's just colors, and then I think the audio is really nice. Like they added some like Commodore based music onto it.
Oh,
Like
yeah?
there's certain games that have a Commodore sound to it. So I guess the audio is really nice. But there wasn't much of a library, in my opinion, on the Game Boy Color. Whereas I guess the Advance took that over, as far as the library goes. I mean, they had such a great library for it, but the Game Boy Color was like something in between, at the time, just to come up with something. Like for some reason, like when the gameplay, the graphics aren't that good as opposed to like some of the cinematics that they do. It looks absolutely amazing on the cinematics that they have, but like on the gameplay itself, it just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't look right though.
That was a very cool game. I could probably sit there and play that one for a long time. Maybe one or two more. I don't know what this one is,
Mm-hmm.
but if it was here, people recommended it. And then we'll lag test this thing. And, once again, if anybody's interested and you want to skip the eBay BS, let me know if you want to pick this one up. I'll just sell it direct on PayPal or something.
I guess the DSi that was also pretty limited because I guess they were introducing the whole online shop thing, and people weren't onto it at the time. Like it's like what is it, the Wii? I guess around the time when the Wii was doing their thing, there wasn't much though on it.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I just picked it out of random.
I just picked it out random. I have no idea.
Huh.
And then I just skipped all of the Okay.
It's a new 3DS XL, the Galaxy Edition, that Bob has. Oh, interesting. This is pretty cool.
There's no shoot.
Just to maybe the triggers.
I don't get it. Has anybody ever played this game before?
No. You probably just have to just destroy it. It's like,
Interesting.
yeah. Kind of reminds me of like Desert Strike, where you just travel like certain spots and blow up like bases and stuff.
Yeah, that's neat. But I'll skip one more, and then we'll jump in and do a lag test fairly soon, just for the hell of it.
Okay.
I tried the touchscreen, Luke. Good. Good suggestion, but no, wasn't doing anything. Somebody said Shinobi 3 was awesome. I have never played this game.
Oh, you should. It is amazing. You know, for a Genesis level, you should try to play this game. You should try it out. It's really nice, man.
Well, we're loading it up.
Like there, you played it. You played some of them on the Genesis version, right? The Sega Genesis, right?
I did, yeah. Let me I actually just realized something. Hold on, let me double check. I don't have another game on here that I wanted to.
Like, what is it? One of them had one of the Shinobi in the series had you fight against Batman, you fight against Spider-Man and Godzilla and stuff. I forgot which one was that in the series. I think it was the second one, I believe.
So is this all right, so it's 3D Shinobi Return of the Ninja Master. And when I hit start, it brings up the menu. So this is obviously a virtual console or port of a game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, whenever X is start, it was a Genesis game or something.
Yes.
All right, so this is like basically just the Genesis game, but ported to the 3DS in 3D.
Right.
I mean, this is neat, but I'd rather just play it on the Genesis. Unless this adds something special.
I think it's just a port or something, right? Oh yeah, and the game you could like run. You could actually run, and then you have like a melee attack instead of shooting the what is it, kunais out.
I mean, this is neat, and the 3D effect is very good, but like if I wanted to play this, I would have just done a Genesis stream.
True.
Yeah, Reluctant Hero, this is a Sega Ages title by M2. Thank you. I like Shovel Knight. I've seen that quite a bit, though. I'm sure you all have seen that as well. Let me just make sure I didn't skip anything else over here.
Mm-hmm.
So this Shinobi, is this an original 3D game?
Yes.
Maybe that's the one I was looking for.
Well, speaking of Ninja games,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of Ninja games, I would recommend Ninja Gaiden for the DS.
Oh.
The game is so amazing, though. It's like a stylus based action game, but it just works so well, though.
Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. Super Jerry X, can you record both sides of the top screens? Yes. We went through the settings in the beginning, but if you wanted to, you could absolutely set it up that way. And if your display supports side-by-side 3D, you could set it to that mode and in full screen, and then throw on your glasses, and that would work. Mod's device plays Sega games. Nintendo must be hating the stream. Yeah, because I also soft modded it. I bought I own a bunch of 3DS games, so I have zero guilt about doing that. But I wanted to get a bunch for the stream too, so whatever. You could.
I don't think I've played this one though. You know, for a second, I thought it was like a PS2, the one from the PS2 that they had, because the design, the character design is based on that, I believe.
I'm not quite sure what I was supposed to do, but
Nobody reads tutorials anyways, Rob.
no, you know, when I'm sitting down to play a game by myself, you know, I'll watch the intro, I'll read the dialogue, I'll try to get into it, but there's a time and a place for that. And I like arcade style games when I'm doing live streams and also when I don't have that
Mhm.
much time to kill. If I only have 15
Yeah,
minutes, I'm not going to spend 20 minutes reading dialogue. I just watch a movie or a
yes.
YouTube video.
Yeah. Yeah, that is how I feel about whenever I like you're right. Whenever I'm like posting my work up after doing doing somebody else's system or something like that, I just find something quick, easy and quick, instead of like an RPG game or something, because it could take hours and hours just so I could get a perfect screenshot of the game. Yeah, I could totally agree on, man.
This is pretty cool. So, call out in the chat if anybody wants to see anything about this before we switch to the lag tests, because it's going to be a lot more boring, but at least you're going to be able to know for a fact how much latency is in here.
Mhm. Oh wow.
How well does the Oculus Rift work with it? I've never tried, but you know, that's one of the things that kind of bugged me about a lot of these VR headsets is they don't have an HDMI input. So you can't just plug them into your PC, use them as a monitor, set it to full screen, which also means you can't do 3D movies that easily, like actual 3D Blu-rays. So that's a good question. You would have to Chris, if he's still in the chat, would be the one to ask about that. Chris Fratz, he's very much into VR.
Mhm. It does offer a couple of modes though. Let me pull up the program. Like if you do the 3D mode, there's anaglyph and side by side on it. So like if you want the what is it, the red blue 3D effect, you could have that on it, or just anaglyph. I mean side by
Side by
side.
side or anaglyph, yeah.
Yes.
PSVR has HDMI input? Sorta, really?
Mm-hmm. It does, but it uses like a special breakout box on it though. They I remember picking it up. They use like a breakout box, but I haven't messed around with too much VR stuff. I guess with New York City real estate, I don't think I can afford the space to do it. Like
Right?
things would just be knocked over. like, like if I'm using VR goggles, I'll be sitting in a cardboard box. I don't know, like I'll be like breaking the box or something in there.
So I'm gonna play just to kind of get us ready. I'm gonna play one very quick level of new Super Mario 3D, which I love this game by the way. This is excellent, but also because
Mhm.
that's how we're gonna test lag by the jump.
Yes, sir.
Which scaling method settings on the software are currently being used? None, 0 and 2x 2x scaling for the window itself. So this actually would probably be okay. So before I start this, I'll just say that we're lucky that this all has screens, or these all have screens built in. So the lag test that we're going to do is so much easier, because usually I would have to have an LED hooked up to it. There would have to be a whole bunch of stuff to try to measure it. While really all we care about is the difference in lag between the main screen and my, what it's like through a computer on the monitor. And I've already measured this monitor so many times. It's got just under 4 milliseconds of latency. So whatever it is, minus 4 milliseconds is the total. And with the 1,000
What kind
frame
of
per second camera, it's about 1 millisecond per frame.
what kind of monitor do you have? PC monitor.
I have a BenQ 4K 60, which was cheap, and for the money, it's awesome. I always say that whenever I'm talking about stuff. I don't want people to think like this is the end-all be-all of all monitors, but for whatever I paid for it, I love it. I would have loved a 4K 120 monitor, but those are 4 times the price.
Yeah. I'm currently using an Acer right now. Let me see the model. It does like Tate mode, and then it has like some high ass hertz I don't know about.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So I would not have a clue on what it is, but it's pretty good though. The refresh rate is pretty good. And stuff. It's pretty slim.
I mean,
It does Tate, so that's all that matters for me.
all right, I'm loving this. So, I didn't hear anything, or I didn't see anything in the chat. Anybody want to hear anything else? Any other questions about it? I would. I'll start setting up the other thing. I guess not. All right. Well, I guess it's just about lag test time then.
Yay, lag test.
Lag test.
Yeah, I've been trying to see this for a while now. You know, I know for the longest we were talking about it. You're like, does it have any lag? When I tested it out, I was like, there's very low lag onto it. But the only lag I did have was like the audio. But if you have the system volume turned down, you won't notice it. But if you turn it up with the program, audio on, like it has a delay on the audio itself.
Well, you could also you could just use the headphone port, right?
Yes.
Right, hold on 1 second. I just realized I'm out of range of how long my headphones are. All right. Patrick, do you have one of these as well, or are you just referencing from the other models that were out there? Yeah, Anime Game Kid, that came out totally nice. So, oh, Patrick installs them. Cool, nice.
He is.
Try to post like your link to your social media here, and I'll watch the chat and approve it. I know I have all links blocked just because I don't want somebody to
have
scumbag.
monitors for this specifically, because like it's just I don't want to be stuck with like being the only guys doing them right now. One of the few is doing them right now. I'm glad you're doing them, dude. Because it's I don't know. It's just there aren't a lot of 3DS installers nowadays. Not throughout the world, because like I guess like you said, Katsukitty, Murky, and then Loopy or whatever it is, they don't offer them anymore, I believe. So.
Right. EB Chill, thank you so much for the super chat, much appreciated. Yeah, I love this stuff. This makes me happy. So it makes me extra happy to know that other people actually give a shit, because very often you don't get the good side of things. I think Art and I talked about that in our live stream, about how we've been championing for less lag for years now, and no one believed us until finally he got in front of people and showed them the difference. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm really happy that the people are paying attention, and hopefully we could continue to make cool stuff.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, Monty? All right, so I am just off camera here, but you can see this is what I use for 1,000 frame per second camera capture.
Okay.
And let me. Let's aim this. Oh, dead battery. F you, dead battery. Luckily, I have an AC adapter and a second battery, so we're good. Don't worry.
All right.
I plan ahead. Anybody that's been watching these streams for a while knows something always goes wrong, and if all it is a dead battery on a camera when I have multiple batteries, then we have a win here.
Yeah, longest I did want to see how it worked out too.
So this is a Sony RX10 II camera, which I don't like as a camera. I don't think for the money this thing performs the way it should. But for lag testing, it's 1,000 frame per second mode is more than good enough, which is why I use it.
Hmm.
Try to get this a little lined up.
Yeah, finished wiring up some pick harnesses for the Blast City.
All right, I've got to lower all this stuff down. Let me know, Ben, if the chat crashes or something like that.
Okay.
Takes a minute to set this camera up. My bad. Okay. Set to HFR. So, all I'm going to be doing, as you can see here, is holding one up next to the other and recording it at the same time. So my power cord's just a little too short, but that's fine. All right, I got 2 jumps in, and it's buffering. I'll wait for it to buffer, and then I'll do 2 more jumps, and then I'll throw it in Adobe Premiere, and we'll be able to count the differences. And remember, there will be a 4 millisecond difference because of this BenQ monitor.
Okay. It's a lot of stuff to put into consideration.
Yeah. This is the other reason why these lag tests take so long, is that 1-2 seconds took that long to buffer up. All right, here we go again. Have to move this out of the way. Okay. That's doing its thing. I'm going to load up Adobe Premiere and see what we got. And I'll share my screen, so there'll be you'll be able to actually see it once it's loaded in there. It'll just take a moment.
Yeah, I only started doing the handheld things at the moment, the 3DS stuff. Since I guess just to fill the void of doing the other mods. I do a variety of mods as well, if anything, like repairs, restoration, and all that stuff. Just for recently, I just finished. I'm almost done with this super prologue thing. Which the other day, did you see it? The little karaoke Sega Saturn machine.
I did. That was hysterical.
Yeah, those that was only sold to businesses and stuff. Like they were using them in like nightclubs and whatnot, and the karaoke machine itself. I mean, on the machine itself, it's like not only do you have it as a karaoke machine, but you have a Sega Saturn system along with it, with a SCSI hard drive that has a selection of songs. It's pretty intense though for that just working on it.
Hey Patrick, your link is not coming through. Did you say that you tweeted at Ben and I or something? Maybe we could just pull the link from your Twitter and then post it here or something.
Yeah, I'll post it.
That's really weird, Patrick. Usually it's supposed to, if something's held, it's supposed to show up, at least in my chat, and say, held for review or not. It's not supposed to just not work.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I've done that one. I see it, Patrick. So you were talking about using like these magnetic wires on them. Instead of using a flex ribbon, the magnetic wire does work. I see it.
Ben, could you drop a link to in Discord to his social media then, so I could put that in the chat for people?
Oh, all right. Yes, totally can.
Okay. And I'm still just
You
setting
know
up
what?
the thing. I'll be there. I should be done with this in a second.
No worries. Oops. Send that over to you. And there. There you go.
Just got it.
Weird, my camera's frozen. Let me see.
Yeah, it's because, sorry, if I have the Discord window minimized, it does that. You should be back now. All right, cool. All right.
Right. That's
So,
very bad.
all right, so let me do the, I'm going to switch over to desktop capture and then move this over. Display here. Okay, of course it's showing OBS when I have that setting that says it shouldn't. There we go, and then I will drag this in. All right, beautiful. So you should be able to see exactly this. Let me double check in stream here. Sort of, kind of. All right. Let me know if this still looks okay, Ben. Can you actually see my Premiere window and everything?
Yes.
All right, so this
Yes,
is 1,000 frames per second. Let me zoom in 100%. Probably gonna have to go a little bit, do 150, see if that lines up. And if this was something, if I was making like a fancy video about this, I would spend a lot of time getting the lighting right, the angles. But what we're basically looking at is Mario versus Mario and how much longer between one jump and the next. So, okay, so let me back it up.
Jumping on the right side.
So it's about normal. So let's just count them. 1, 2, 3. I think that was the animation because you could kind of see his hand down here. So I think that's the. I'll keep this full. It shouldn't be too bad. So let's just, yeah, 2, 3. Oh, okay.
And then you start moving.
There it is.
Yep.
So I think that's like 4 frames. So I'll count again on the next one. Also landing, right? So I think that's it. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Ooh, so this is going to be hard to tell. Let me load up the second file and see on that one. Because I'm getting 50 milliseconds-ish. All right, here's the second file. Maybe this is a little clearer. And by the way, the reason it's so grainy is because the resolution of this is 1920 by 240 or something like that. So that's why this stretches out so grainy. I wish there was a way to just to make it a little different, but it's the best I could do with the budget. So if you look at the bottom of his feet, that's what I'm gonna.
Okay.
So it starts to lift off.
All right.
I guess maybe that's the easier thing to judge from because you could see the feet are up off the ground. So I'll just start counting.
So with like 1,000 frame camera, how do you determine the frames it is on the system itself.
So it basically just comes to math, and that was actually really a big difference that time. So whenever you're doing lag tests, by the way, throw out the fastest. Like you're supposed to do these quite a few times, and we might end up having to do this again, by the way. But you throw out the you do it 10 times. You throw out the fastest and the slowest if there's any really erroneous ones, because then stuff like this it just comes down to the software itself and how that works. You want to get the closest ones, and that one was way too long. So
Mm.
maybe there's a different game that would be a better option too. Maybe it's something.
Mm. Well, what about tossing a fireball or something like that, or the mushroom animation?
Yeah, so let me go back to we just all right. So let me set up the camera again and try to get something else because that doesn't seem very accurate. Because you're the animations, right? Each
Hmm.
each time Mario moves like that, it's a different frame. So when he moves his
Yeah.
feet, when it's there's all those frames of animation that cause that. So I'm gonna get closer. Um, maybe I could get super, super close. Let me try that. If you hear a loud crash, it's because I knocked something over. If you feel free to laugh your butts off, that's always
Uh-huh.
always
You
funny.
drop something.
Samicom, does it do 444 at 60 frame per second? Yeah, it should do the full range of color. Is that going to be short enough? No, let me grab a shorter tripod. I think that's going to be. Hold on one second.
Sorry. Let me see. Uh, you could also if you wanted to, you could limit it to 30 frames per second if you wanted to. There's a bunch of features on it. There's like you said, what is it,
When I
444?
when I
There's
first started getting into this stuff and doing these
Mhm.
videos, a couple of my friends,
Mhm.
were giving me tips, and they're like, "Oh, try this tripod, try that tripod," and I'm like, "Why would anybody need more than one tripod?" And now I know that's for exactly for stuff like this. Okay.
But yeah, like there's with the program there's different color options on it. There's full and lightweight and whatnot.
Bovine Divine had a good suggestion that unknowingly is actually a terrible suggestion. I'm not making fun of you, I'm making fun of me. So they suggested try to find any game with a running timer. Well, I tried that a lot myself, and I learned the hard way that those games were never programmed to make sure the timer was accurate. So if you I use this with the 4K Gamer Pro, the timer in Virtua Racing, for example, isn't actually showing milliseconds. It's like showing gibberish. And then, oh, by the way, the seconds probably still work, but the milliseconds are not accurate at all. So that was a
Mhm.
great idea that I also thought would make things easier, and it really messed me up the first. I mean, I probably wasted hours of my life the first time I realized that, thinking there was something majorly wrong with my equipment. Um, yeah, I would check Ben's social media if you would like info on that, because I think while it's not an official installation guide, it'll certainly give you a good idea of where to start and what to do.
Mhm. I'll pass some links over. Is it cool if I just toss them over on the YouTube thing?
Absolutely. Actually, hold on one second. Let me see if I could add. All right. So you should be able to post links now.
Okay, wonderful.
Mm,
Mm,
no.
I'll send in a couple of links. I have Usually with all the work that I do, I always post it up online.
How much is the kit? I don't. I got to get the link to the kit up there, but pre-assembled are
Yeah.
very expensive because of how much time it takes. We were discussing that before. I am selling this
Hmm.
one, but it's going for market value. It's not.
Yes.
A, it's not a super good deal. It's just what everybody else is paying. Um, no offense. I have gotten ripped off quite a few times in the past. So,
Yeah.
all right, maybe.
It is pretty expensive though. I mean, it's not too bad, but with shipping and everything, you'll have to go through a weird transaction service that they use for it. They don't really accept PayPal on it. About 1,000 is market value, like Bovine mentioned.
Okay, I think that's cool. I think we got the change from full screen to blackout. I think that might be a good one.
Okay.
Bovine, I wouldn't say over 1,000. I would say under. I would think like a mint condition unit like this one. I mean, this thing's just been working perfect, looks perfect. That's been properly soft modded with a DS ROM cart and a 64 gig micro SD and the kit installed. That I think would go for probably like 900 to 1,000. Whereas just the kit installed would go for a bit less, all things considered. Okay, let's try this again.
It's frozen because Bob wants to test it out with the camera, so the camera is frozen.
There we go.
That's fine then.
Unfroze it again.
Yay. Yeah, somebody was on the chat mentioning about that though.
Okay, so once where's OBS? Once this is done buffering, that's when I could just drop it right back in, and we'll start seeing the rest.
I don't think Nintendo 3DS is doing any more firmware updates. If you do plan to soft mod it in the future, they won't be since I guess this is like the final year of having the market up.
Yeah, that was the final thing for me because I really wanted to just hunt down a ROM cart, keep it completely stock, and then a bunch of my friends reminded me, like, hey, look, there's no point in doing that now because not only are you not going to miss anything, but there's going to be things that you could only do with the soft modded 3DS that a fully legit one can't even do anymore. So that's when I was like, you know what, you're right. Let me just soft mod it.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to remember. Let me just. I'll get to that in a second. I got to remember what I used because I thought it was great. It was the
Yeah.
guide walked me through everything step by step. It was a lot of work. I mean, it was a couple hours start to finish, but I thought it was just very. It was one of the best guides for doing that.
We need a 240p suite. Test suite for it. This is where it comes in handy.
You're damn right. All right, I'm gonna move full screen back up here. Okay, display capture. Bit. Okay. So everything still should be looking all right. Let me know, Ben, if the stream's getting all messed up.
Okay.
I think right here is where it gets dimmer.
Yeah, that's where it starts fading to black.
Or maybe I go. All right. Wait till we see the S over on the right. Oh. I think this is it. So 1, 2.
Yep, there it is.
There it is again. So that's like 80 milliseconds. Maybe I'm counting wrong, though. Do I have to do... Maybe it's better to do it from completely off to completely light. That way when we see anything on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, just going into that... Like, that's not going to cut it. I think maybe the
Yeah.
lights in the room probably should be off. So, all right, test number 3. Make sure Ben's still... there we go. I know
Okay.
the back overlay is going to be weird, but, you know. About the animation of the menu, that seems more visual. That could possibly be it. All right, let me try grabbing the thing again.
You know what might be another good idea? Uh, Setting the date and time, maybe, under settings. I don't know. That helps.
All right, we got some mood lighting. Let me,
Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna just I'll be right back, all right?
yeah, take your time. Um, for high-speed footage, wouldn't a lot of light in the room make the images easier to see? Not if the thing that you're trying to record is the light source. You're 100% right about that, by the way, but just remember that we're trying to film the light source here, which is why this is kind of the way it is. A clock or timer application might only get me down to the second, and we need milliseconds here in order to do this. Or at least in order to do it right, I guess I should say. Charmin focus. Okay. Wouldn't it be easier to use the 240p test suite in a Genesis emulator, even just for relative lag? That's a great idea. How would I get that on here so quickly? Do you have one already injected into a 3ds file that I could use? Because that would absolutely be a great idea. If you have one, I'm down. Yeah. Just focusing. Right. I think we got one. I think we got one. Tell us the story, Erie Bob.
Oh, we found something?
I think I got a mode that would work. But I'm going to try one more just because. Probably doesn't send. Shit. The A Gamer 54554. Are you on any other social media? Because it's way easier for me to just do that rather than try to figure out how to change YouTube settings. Nope, screwed that one up. Hold on. Weird, it's not letting me return to map. All right, I'll just die. All right, I think we got 2 that's doable. Let me turn the light back on.
Okay. Whoa, there's a lot of TV in the background.
The A Gamer 554 is going to send a tweet. All right, you're right. The stopwatch would just be the easiest by far if that works.
There's definitely it's a good way to measure it for sure.
Okay, that is. And the reason you would need a high speed camera for something like that, as opposed to just using your phone or a DSLR, is because sometimes it could blend frames together. So using the high speed camera at least allows you to analyze each frame just to make sure. I'm not seeing anything on Twitter. Let me look you up though, and maybe that's all I need to do. Or maybe it's that I can't return to the map if I haven't beaten the level yet and then saved. Okay, so that's actually awesome. Let me I have to be connected. No, I am connected for that. Never mind. I was about to very stupidly say I have to be connected to the internet for that, but I wouldn't have been able to load my my game from RetroNAS without it. So I'm loading up FBI, and I'm going to load that right now, and then we'll kind of go from there afterwards. Interesting that it's not loading, but all right, I'll start working on the other stuff.
We were testing out Liberation Maiden earlier from Dumpcoff Crow.
Okay.
Take care, Patrick.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. All right, I'm going to put this back up to the top so we can figure this out again. And let me load these up. I forgot which was which, so... Nope, that one didn't work. Okay. That might be perfect.
Yeah, I like that one.
There it is. So, 1, 2... $60-ish. 56. Yeah, 56 milliseconds, just about. Let me try another one though, and then I'll see if I can get the 240p test suite, which would be an even bigger help. All right, so that's, you can see the little dot there.
Mm-hmm.
1,
And there it
So
is.
no, I saw that pop up at 40 milliseconds that time. So I think this is, it could be variable. So remote install and trying to get the 240p test suite is probably the way to do this. So let me pull up that QR code. Install. Okay. So let's drop that back down. Failed to install from URL, huh?
Correct.
Uh, what would be considered good and bad for lag speeds? It totally depends on the game. Turn by turn role playing, a couple of seconds.
Yeah, that would be
Street
effective.
Fighter, 6 milliseconds to 10.
Mhm. I think it's more crucial in fighting games or anything that requires like intense reaction onto it. I did put a video up. No, I should have. Well, I recorded on YouTube, but I did do like a side to side thing, but without the 1,000 frame camera.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna have to just download this directly anyway, right onto the directly onto the SD card, right? Ben froze again. Thanks, guys. Sorry. There we
Yes,
go.
it's just.
Are you testing lag between emulator versus hardware? No, because this is not an emulator. This is original hardware.
Mhm.
All right, so you got to power off for SD card, right? Or
Mhm.
you should at least.
Yeah, that's the best way. Otherwise, you don't want to corrupt it or anything like that.
Okay.
But which you shouldn't do, but still, better take precautions for it.
I'm and just to be clear, I'm testing the lag because that's what I do, right? I'm a nerd. I want numbers. But
Yeah.
if you're buying this to capture, it doesn't matter at all. I guess yeah, more than a handful of seconds would matter, but if you're a streamer or a capture for archival purposes, lag isn't a thing, which is why I love those SCART to HDMI boxes for exactly that. Not for gameplay, but for capture.
No. Yes. But for gameplay, it's also very barely noticeable as well. Like,
Let me get this here. So I would put this in the CIA folder. Pico Drive 3DS CIA. And then let me grab the latest, the 240p test suite. Let's see what I got here. I have version 1.17. I don't know if it's the latest, but it's got the stopwatch on it, so we're good to go. And I could put this anywhere on the SD card, I was told, right? So let me just I guess I'll just leave it in the CIA folder because that way I could don't worry about the other files. Anyway, all right, cool. So that's good enough. Let me restart this. Well, now we'll get a lesson on how to manually install a CIA file. So there you go. If anybody ends up buying this one, now you'll know exactly what to expect.
that's what it is. I found it. So you could definitely use a wireless controller on it though. It's called NTR input redirection.
Oh, well, that's neat.
Yeah,
So it's
and
not a
then you'll
matter
move
of
it.
wiring in something where you could plug in another controller. It's a matter of connecting like a Bluetooth controller to it.
Correct. Correct.
That is
You could
cool.
use a yes. You could use an Xbox controller. GameCube controller apparently works too, which is pretty cool. Anything that uses Bluetooth on it will work. Let's see.
So, Vikrin had an excellent question. Will the
Oh,
Genesis emulator add lag? Yes, absolutely. Except that won't matter because all we're measuring is the output of this versus uh, the original screen. So yes, it would add lag, but not to the video output split between these two. So good question, but that is luckily not something that we'd have to worry about for this. All right, that's perfect. Right into the C is, yeah, this is great.
here you go.
Oh, look at that beautiful lag test right there.
There you
So we can see
go.
in frames exactly what the difference is going to be. So this is perfect. Let me grab the camera again, and we'll go from there.
Yay.
All right, let me load this back up. Okay. Nice. Make sure they're both in frame. This is awesome. Thank you. This is
Yay.
exactly what I was hoping for. So we'll definitely be able to tell down to the frame, and we'll also be able to see variable, which I think is going to be pretty important too. So, right. Does Pico Drive add kind of? Well, you know what? We could see right here. Look at why ask when I could just demo for everybody. All right, options.
I like how the UI is. Wow. Looks really pretty
Yeah, this is
and
neat.
clean. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really use too much emulators on it, but it looks pretty cool though, how the UI is.
Totally agreed. Yeah,
Hmm.
this is neat. Okay, that's done processing. Let me get that sucker plugged in now.
Disable frame skip. It says on.
Well, we'll find out if that's an issue.
Okay, for sure.
What settings are on the viewer for USB priority? I'd love to know if they changed USB latency. That's interesting. I think I already checked those, but we're going to check again
Hmm.
because that's a great idea. Let me...
USB receiver, I put it on the highest, drawing on highest, and then sound is on normal.
Okay. Drop this in. Clear this out. All right. You should all be seeing this, right? So this is exactly what I was hoping for. Now you're going to see image retention. So only pay attention to the solid numbers and in the circles if possible, because you see up here how you could see the 11 and the 10 and maybe something else. What you're seeing is image retention of an LCD panel, which, so in a perfect world, I would mod the 3DS with the CRT screen or some stupid stuff like that. But so that's 3 frames, that's 4 frames. Let me just move forward until we get clear shots. No, so it's looking like at about 3.5 frames of lag.
Hmm. Which is
Which,
still really good.
it's not as bad. I mean, this is like a pound cable. So, if you're playing, and this 3DS games, depending how you play them, have a bit of latency as well. That's I talked about the other person who did that video a while back, Sir Sethery. Yeah, that was it. So that's more like 3 right there. So yeah, 3 to 4 frames of lag. 12. So let's check a few other things though. Ben, you can still see this in the. You can now see the whole thing, right? Like
Correct.
the way. All right, thank you. So, filtering, 3D mode, transfer mode.
Okay. Thread priority should be
Back.
it if you.
USB receiver is at highest. Is time
Mhm.
critical better, worse?
I've never tried that one before though. We could
Well,
try that out.
we'll try it in a second.
Oh, mm,
Drawing highest. All right, so now we have thread priority set to time critical, highest, and highest.
okay.
And let's see, special settings. No,
Expansion USB packet size.
no, that would add more latency, I would assume.
Uh,
I mean, we could try it as the last thing, but I
yeah.
think those are, I think those are it. I think those are the settings we would want to try. So let me
Right.
just shoot another one of these super quick. And oh wait, the other thing I wanted to try too. Let me drop this back down for a second. Let's just go into the emulation settings. Disable frame skip.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all right. So I've reloaded the ROM with the new settings. Let's see if that makes a difference. Let this all be a lesson to you, folks. It's never, ever, ever as easy as you think. However much time you thought lag testing this stuff would take, it's always much longer. It's infuriating sometimes, but whatever. All right. So.
Kills a lot of time just to test lag, huh?
Yes. Oh man, the hours of my life spent testing lag. A little ridiculous, but worth it.
Yep. Yep. You're the man, for doing this, I guess.
And for anybody
Right now,
oh, sorry, go ahead, Ben.
right now, Bovine Divine is asking which version are we using for the program? It's the 1.13 version right now. The 2.07 version that was pushed out recently, if you want to enable it, if you want to enable sound, the window will crash. In the previous builds that they had, you could enable sound and you wouldn't have a problem with it. But with the new 2.07 version, if you enable the sound, the system, the application will crash. So stick with 1.13 right now. That's what we're using. No, go ahead.
I don't remember what I was going to say, but it wasn't important. Right. That's done. Here we go.
And the 3DS capture solution is definitely available right now in the market.
Yep, Ben does them. If you have your own 3DS, Ben could do it for you. I'm selling this one as soon as the stream's over. Totally up to you. It's only for the new 3DS XL at the moment, right?
Yes, that's what I offer at the moment. There are other options, but I don't provide any installs for those yet because of I haven't purchased any extra kits for those yet, so or systems, especially with the going rates on them.
All right, Ben, you're gonna have to let me know. Is this does the screen still look okay? Am I centered and all that?
Yes.
Okay. It still looks like the same lag, right?
Yep.
3.5 frames.
Mm-hmm.
It brought it down from 3.5 to like 3-ish at this point. So that did actually lower the latency a little bit. Yeah, that actually made a difference. So I think it's safe to call this one 3 frames of lag, which is still, that's a less than a pound cable, and for a console that has more latency than classics do. Let's try that one final setting though, just to make sure, because with all due respect to everybody who's sitting through this, I would rather bore the chat to death than be wrong and give misinformation. So
Right.
let's, all right, let me go back and
Special settings, I believe.
yep, let me, so you all could see exactly what it is I'm doing. We got that is still there. And I'm going to config, special settings, and expansion.
USB packet size at 1024 bytes.
And what's this? Disable desktop composition and delay queuing?
Oh, I've never tried that before. Well, this is new features.
Well, let's
Yes,
turn them both on and see what happens. Please restart the
uh,
viewer. Okay, no problem. I got you. We'll restart you. I'll go back in this view so we can see what's going on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me fix that. Sorry. That should be better. And viewer. All right, there we go.
I see it. Yep.
So back into lag test, and I'll fire this up again real quick. I think Windows DPI settings are messing up the scaling of the program. It could very well just be that the OBS window capture settings are the issue, because it does look very good to me here. But I could double check. I'd certainly like to, just in case. Okay, let me get this measured. Is it raining there, Ben? It's pouring here.
It is. It is. It just looks kind of gray and muddy and disgusting and depressing and stuff out there. I was about to go outside after this podcast just to like take care of some things, but
I get
just a little bit.
I get kind of a bigger yard, and I got a push mower, so now I'm out in the burbs mowing my lawn every week for 2.5, 3 hours, depending on how much other shit I got to do. So yeah.
Yeah. How is it out there?
I mean, I like it. I miss the city very much, but you know, I have enough space to have that behind me, so
yeah,
worth it. Worth it.
Yeah. And then a few arcade machines and stuff. You know, that kind of reminds me of the old office when you used to do your old videos.
Yeah.
Out there.
Definitely. I got Oliver. What's up, Oliver? Is there a chance that an affordable HDMI solution will be available in the next few years? So I think you hit the nail on the head. Few years, because Woozle was working on a solution. Was actually working on a couple of solutions for DS, 3DS, but not only is it way harder than you'd expect, the part shortage was just brutal. So I don't think, I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but I am not a betting man. If I was, I would put all my money on zero chance of a solution this year. Probably nothing in 2023 either for 3DS.
Yeah, it won't be for a while.
Okay, let me fire back up here. Drag this in. Ben, can you verify that it looks right in the YouTube stream, please?
Yes. It does.
Look at that. 2 frames. Oh, wow. Now we're getting there. This is why I like being a fucking nerd. Oh, yeah, this is cool. All right. Of course, in the main post, I will have screenshots of all of these settings for everybody. But, yeah, it looks like just under 2 frames. Well, yeah. That is cool. All right, so now we have to check those individual settings. I mean, sorry, everybody, but so let's just do them one at a time, and we'll go from there. Please restart the viewer. All right, restart the viewer. All right.
I think it just hit the roof right now with the rain here.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's there's some input lag on that too.
Wow. So all right, now it makes sense, because you said to me many times, as well as in this chat during this live stream, that you don't feel much lag. And most of the time, I'd have been like, "Well, maybe you just suck at video games," but you don't. You whip my ass every time we play any game ever. So I know it's not that. So that must have been it. You just had different settings than I used the default, and you took the moment to tweak them. All right. Well, now we're getting there. Yeah, Dwight, the moment I'm done with this live stream, I am going to just take the information we put it here and put it into a post, as well as link to the live stream that will have the lag numbers as well as exact screenshots of these settings, so you don't have to worry. And if you just want to buy this yourself, you could also do so. I would suggest doing it before it hits eBay, because if I put it on eBay, then I have to compensate for eBay fees and scammers, so it's going to be cheaper if you buy it direct.
Like, hold on. Discord, I guess. The camera again. Sorry.
And lastly, will full screen reduce the lag even more? I would absolutely try that after this. So we're probably going to have to do at least one more of these lag tests, because there were 2 settings that we had enabled last time. And after that, then once we've determined the fastest, then I will do full screen, and then that would be the best way to call the lag, because it's that we would know for sure. And that would also
in order.
Go ahead.
Sorry. In order to run this program, I think you need like a decent computer, like a decent computer in order to capture the video off of the 3DS.
I mean, I have a pretty fast computer, but I have OBS running, a stream running, virtual camera running, Adobe Premiere running, and this software, and I'm at 23% CPU usage. 40,
that's not bad.
40% GPU, but most of that looks like it's coming from OBS, and then 45% of RAM, which is mostly Google Chrome and Premiere.
Yeah, of course.
This thing is using 1.3% CPU, 25 megs of RAM, and 7% GPU. So yeah, I mean, you can't have a crappy PC, but I think you don't need a super fast one either.
Right.
Yeah, the Skipster. I am going to be lag testing the GBA HD thing, as well as Woozles again. I actually against Woozles because I know how fast that is, and I was waiting because that just came in. I finally got a Game Boy Advance EverDrive Mini again. I have no idea what happened to mine. Maybe I gave it to my little brother. Maybe I lent it to a friend and they forgot to give it back. I don't know, but we'll be I'll be live streaming that at some point, hopefully this week, to be honest. All right, Ben, I'm gonna switch back. You gotta let me know that if everything's still working.
Okay. See that.
Should be. All right. No, now we're back up to 3 frames. Okay, good. So I guess that's very good. Now we're starting to know what things are. So what that means is that config special settings, let's try it with just this on and see if that's it. Because just that, we're back at 3. So maybe it was just that setting that's what did it. So same thing. I'm going to go back. Same crap I've been doing.
No.
Right, and then okay, give this a shot. So my guess on the GBA HD, just a guess, I haven't tested it yet. I've done nothing other than take it out of the box to make sure it arrived safely. But my guess is 0 lag because of the way it's designed and because there's no frame buffer added to the video circuit. I believe that's going to be a 0 lag device. But, I wouldn't be me if we didn't test it. So. Yeah. Also, the fact that the team who made it thought it would be very cool that if I lag tested it, it's always a good sign. Usually the people that don't want you to test something are the ones that have something to hide. So
yes. Also, camera on my end.
Thank you.
Camera.
We should have done so that's the good thing about using Skype with NDI is you don't have to worry about that. But
Yes.
hey, you know what? It's working good otherwise. So.
Yeah. So that's
Oh, the
good then. You
skipster
know.
said to compensate for 60 hertz, they had to have a 2-frame frame buffer. That's interesting, because there's maybe it's a line buffer, not a frame buffer. We'll see, but that's pretty interesting. So maybe there is lag then. We'll find out. Okay.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, so I'm glad. Yeah, you could actually play the 3DS at home, not only as for streaming, you could actually use it as I guess a consoleized solution for now. Just have to put a little bit of work into it.
Okay. Switching back to the other view. Here we go, and dragging that in. So it does have to have both on. Interesting. Okay, so then we have 2 more lag tests to do. Put it back to the way it was, where we got only 2 frames, or less than 2 frames, and then do it again in full screen. So those are the special settings. Let me restart the viewer. Okay, and then just to config, still at time critical, highest and highest. Special settings are still at both checked off. So let me get you fixed. Okay, so let me fire that back up and see where we're at. Okay.
That's actually pretty good, you know, with the capture device. It's running what is it, for a couple hours now?
Yeah.
Since you had this on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, we didn't even realize, but we're testing longevity here too. This thing's been running for 2 hours without crashing.
Which is pretty stable. I think the thing, like, you know, at one point, Katsu Kitty was providing the installs for them. I don't know, you know, there was like I was hearing like mixed reviews about it, but I wasn't too sure because I didn't know anything about it at the time. But it seems pretty stable for the most part.
I don't know what, you know, this might mess up the view to put this in full screen mode, so my apologies, but
No,
we'll have to.
no worries.
Sorry for everybody on the stream if it's going to look weird for a minute here, but I think it was
For
just
science.
F10. Yeah.
Well,
all right. Perfect.
there you go.
Almost done buffering. Gonna move my camera over.
So for you guys just tuning in, it's using micro USB for this. It's 2.0.
Okay. All right, so we got the last 2 readings. We got full screen, and we got the settings that we were getting just under 2 frames. And if we're not getting that now, then the lag's variable between 2 to 3. So we shall see very soon. Let me... Okay. Almost there. By the way, this thing's been on battery for quite a while now, because my charger cable wasn't long enough for where my plug is, and it's still doing well. So this capture kit doesn't draw a ton of power. I mean, I'm sure it's
which is
I'm sure it's not going to be as low power as no kit, but it's not drawing some insane amount of power, which is awesome.
right.
All right. So, here we go. This should show. Now it's back with the other settings showing 3. So that means it's variable latency then, which is fine, but it's between 2 and 3 then. Now we have full screen. Same thing, variable between 2 and 3.
Interesting.
I mean, that's you're never going to get any kind of software like this running in flawless, like a flawless, solid, never changing lag. So that's totally fine. I think between 2 and 3 frames of latency is still less than most of those garbage cables that you see.
Without any application run into it. It's really pretty solid.
Yeah. All right. So I think this all worked out pretty awesome. I think we were able to see everything that we wanted to do. I think this thing performs perfectly for streamers. As far as making it full screen and using it that way, I mean, it really depends on the game. Some people 2 to 3 frames on something like this anyway. I don't know if you would notice. It's really up to you. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't, but I don't know. I think for streamers, this thing is an absolute hell yeah. For people who want to play 3DS on a full screen, it's got to be up to you.
I'm fine with it though. Like I had no problem with it.
So P Soup just made a very good point. This is way better than the latency on the Wii U for the Virtual Console for DS. I don't even know if there were 3DS games on it. Probably not on the Wii U, but that was so laggy that I couldn't beat whatever the new Super Mario Brothers that was on DS. I couldn't beat it on a flat panel. I had to move my Wii U over to a CRT to finish the game, and even that was way more challenging than just on the DS's screen. So,
yeah, oof. The Wii U just has a bunch of options, but it doesn't really perform too well on it, I suppose. Yeah.
Well,
even with the Wii thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Wii's latency isn't terrible, especially for what you get. I mean, back, when you could still get Wii's for cheap, if you were dipping your toes into retro and you weren't really sure if you wanted to invest all that money and everything, it was such a cool way to get started. Especially because you could just get like a component to VGA converter, run everything in 480p, and just get a cheap CRT VGA monitor, and you get like the true experience, close enough. So, I would like at some point to see how this differs between emulation lag. That's a way bigger, that's a way more complicated test to run, and even running those tests, there's so many variables that I certainly would want to do. It wouldn't be something I would do really quick on a live stream like this, but my guess is your average 3DS emulation is probably going to be laggier than this. So I think I could be wrong. I apologize if I am, but my guess is that if you're already playing 3DS games via emulation, and I would think this is an upgrade, to be honest. But that's really going to have to be up to you to decide. So yeah, good point, Mason Gregory. The only other option is emulation. So I guess that's pretty much it. If you want to purchase this for a lot less than it's going to be sold for on eBay, contact me soon, because this is going to get listed pretty quickly. Or I'll probably just tweet about it and see. But if anybody wants first dibs, I'm on Discord and all of the social medias. So let me know.
Avoid the pesky eBay fees, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've seen the percentages. I'm like, oh my god, who would sell these on? It's horrible.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. So, all
Yeah.
right. Well, Ben, thank you very much for taking the time to do this. I have Ben's
Yeah.
info in the description. I will be adding all of this info right now to the website. So if you just go to RetroRGB.com within a half hour, everything that you saw here, including screenshots of all of the latency settings to get it down, will be up. I will put a link to where to get this, and of course, more links to Ben if you want it made. And once again, if you want to buy this one off me, let me know right away, because by the time I put it up on Twitter, it's probably going to go immediately. So
Yeah.
thank you as always, and especially thanks to the super chats. Always
Yeah.
generous and awesome. And Ben, I will see you down in Brooklyn soon. It's fun as always. So I'll see you down at the shop.
Yeah. Let's grab one, man. All right. Take care, guys.
See you.